Wake up, Buy Here people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhodes on the Buy Here, Pay Here morning show. Take it away, you two.
Good morning.
Hello, everyone. Good morning from Orlando, Florida. Michelle, you're in Utah this morning, I think.
I am. And it's, I think from the cams from back home, looks like it's windier right here than it is back right by the condo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been checking on the Weather Channel this morning. Looks like it is going to make landfall south of the Tampa area.
Yeah.
Most recent outlook. So looks like pretty rough weather down there. I'm in Orlando, settled. I kind of hunkered in the hotel and following the tips from some of our friends, Peter Salinas and George Spat, longtime Floridians. They offered some tips.
And some of them have been quite funny.
Yeah, one of them was it Peter? Which one of them? No, it was George, I think, who offered the Homer Simpson tip. That was the key is to not eat your snacks too early.
And Jim says, thanks for the info as he eats his snacks.
Yeah, I'm eating snacks as I'm reading his post. So I'm thinking, okay, good tip. Thanks for that, George. So good morning, David Norton out in Tennessee. Got a Houston listener. That's most likely Hugo. I can't see the name Hugo. I'm going to believe that's you. And Bill Elizondo, good morning. James Anderson in Georgia as well. So we got our friend Jack Carter from the Atlanta area is joining us. And so he's kind of standing by. Michelle, did you have anything you want to talk about before I bring Jack in?
No, just to hope that all of our friends out there, especially in the southern part of the state of Florida, are holding on to something strong and sturdy and staying safe.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I think power outages looks like are, obviously water where those folks are in lower areas, but power outage is a good thing. Right now I have power in Orlando. So if you lose me in the middle of broadcast, you'll know what happened. So
but
Michelle,
I just want to let y'all know that we've been keeping tabs with FIADA.
right.
And as far as we've been told is that the conference is still going on as planned,
Right.
starting on Sunday. So those of you who are planning on coming out to that, it's as far as we know so far, it is as planned. And I still have to get a flight out of here back to Orlando so that, Jim's not like a one-man show during.
Right. Yeah, she's got to get back here. We got to do this presentation together. So that might have been Sergio. I see Valdez is saying hello from Houston. Good morning. I see Tommy in Pennsylvania and Ben Carter, who our guest, Jack, must know Ben quite well. So
I want to say before we bring Jack on, we had the opportunity in Vegas, or at least I did. You were upstairs getting some stuff and just sitting and having a delightful breakfast with he and Ben and the crew, and it was really fun. Just some really great people. I was pleased when I saw that you had reached out to him to see if he would come in and be a part of this morning.
Mm-hmm. So Sergio just did the check-in. Now we see that that's you, Senor Valdez. And you ready to bring Jack in?
Absolutely.
Let's say hello to Jack. Jack, we got you in the broadcast now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, guys. Hi, good morning. How are y'all?
Good. I should have explained that Jack is at a car auction this morning doing what Buy Here, Pay Here dealers do. He's out there previewing cars before the auction starts at the top of the next hour. And so he's actually sitting in the car making time for the morning show. So we're grateful. Thanks for doing that, Jack.
Thanks for having me, guys. Glad to be here.
And I got to put your dealership's website.
There you are. Turn and Burn.
Yeah, Turn and Burn Motors. You guys are listening. You should check out his website. It's really slick. Good looking website. Really does a good business up there. And we've gotten it back a little bit through different events. And so I wanted to hear some about your business, Jack. First, I wanted to find out, I saw the pictures with you and Jason March. I told you that Jason was our guest last week on the show. And we talked a little bit about the policy conference. I wanted to get your perspective. Was that your first time to attend that conference?
That was my third trip to Washington
Nice.
with the NIADA to be a part of that. It was it was a good time. I've really enjoyed it in the past. This time was pretty informative about some of the expectations and what the FTC is looking to do. So it was really a lot of it was really just a lot of warnings about, you know, what I consider to be government overreach, but just some of the things that the FTC is looking to change, and some of the things that they're looking at in the lending space and in the car business, and it was really informative, um, and it was somewhat scary. You know, some of what they talked about was something to. It's been on my mind pretty heavy since I left.
So things that you can do, it's just things that you can avoid, but you got work to do is what I'm hearing.
You know, I don't know. You know, I took it kind of a couple different ways, Jim, to be honest with you. You know, they were talking to us about, you know, discriminatory practices is what they're looking at. You know, Ben and I are operating out of Atlanta. So Atlanta's a melting pot. There's every culture and creed here that you can think of. You know, of course, we don't want to discriminate towards anyone.
Sure.
Nobody does. We're just trying to sell cars. You know, we don't care who
Sure.
buys them. But they laid it on pretty heavy about looking at that type of stuff and starting to make determinations, and having also including sex and race on your applications. Moving forward, I think that's something that they were talking about implementing in the near future, and I don't know if that'll go through or not, but that was just one of the things. And you know, it's scary as a you know, I don't want the government coming in and laying down big fines on us. So
Sure.
I'm really not sure what the move is. You know, they talked a big game about what happens to people that do those things, and if we do not, but it's almost as if the burden of proof is back on us to prove that we don't. You know, it's not. It really wasn't innocent until we built it. It was guilty until you can prove innocence, and it was. So as far as policy conferences go, I mean, it was good. I enjoyed being around the crowd. Of course, I love the dealers and enjoy being around leadership. But the whole message was just that things would be tightened up on us, which is not really something I welcome. You know, I feel like we're working hard to do it right already. Got a lot of things in place, big client, and you know, it's just something to worry about, really.
Yeah. So we're getting a little bit of a streaming delay, and I can still make out what you're saying. I just would explain to our audience that I think that's probably not avoidable. It's probably internet connection on his side. Are you hearing it as well, Michelle? But is the connection clear on my side?
Yeah, you're crystal. On my
Okay.
end.
So yeah, it's probably just internet connection on your side, Jack, but it's okay. We'll just keep moving. I think people can make out what's happening there. But I would just say that, you know, that whole thing about being scary, I thought's definitely a part of being in the business, right? But I would say that we would invite you and any of the others in leadership to come back to our show anytime there's new information that you think dealers need to hear. That's part of what we hope to be able to do with the morning show is, you know, get the people the information so that, imagine, you know, you were there, you heard the stuff, you can now go back and make better, you know, maneuvers in your business to avoid problems. But those folks who aren't following this stuff and aren't educated, they run the risk of finding themselves in the crosshairs with showing no effort to, you know, trying to fix those things. So we would, you know, invite you to come back anytime you learn some stuff that you think would be helpful to dealers. And I see you out there doing it on Facebook all the time anyway. It's part of why we wanted to invite you in as a white hat dealer and by the way, your profile on Facebook has a white hat anyway. I mean, you're obviously going to be a white hat dealer, right? So we got to have you in there. So no, it's been a pleasure having you in there and have you contribute to the conversation. So anything more about the policy conference?
Let's see what else. So they went over the discriminatory practices. There was so there's also there's also the idea being thrown around that the government's going to be cracking down on any breach of customer information, right? So they were heavy-handed in speaking about protecting our customers' personal information, and but they really didn't give any instruction outside of that. So uh, I'm a guy. I don't know how to protect myself from cyber attacks and from hackers, probably any more than the next guy does, you know. And so they were talking about the fines related to, you know, losing someone's personal information or allowing access to someone's personal information, and that's kind of scary too. So it was those two situations, and to be honest, I listened to
Yeah, we're having a really hard time hearing you, Jack. I just from what Jack was talking about, it sounds like that they spoke quite a bit about the safeguards rule and what we need to do about keeping people's information protected. Is that kind of what you heard, Tim? Yeah.
And I think, yeah, Jack, we're having a little bit of trouble with the streaming connection on your side. So I would just share that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm hearing you say, is that it's a little scary because of the technical element of that, the security breach from the real data management side. And you're right, most dealers aren't going to know how to do that, which means you got to engage some, cyber firm or whatever to help give you those protections. And he dropped out. Maybe he'll reconnect. But yeah, we know that that's a thing. Obviously, we're seeing in Texas has come out with the safe rule, and we need to make sure, Michelle, we share that in the comments. About this broadcast.
I know at the when I was looking at the agenda for FIADA that Terry Myers is actually going to be teaching from the Texas curriculum.
Right.
And
Right.
so there's, a lot of really great, there's multiple places you can go to get that information. Texas is probably one of the most accessible for the
Right.
safeguards rule. Hey, Jack, you're back.
Hey, sorry guys. Yeah, I tried to move into a spot with a little better cell signal. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, you're good. So we were just kind of recapping for the listeners what we knew about the safeguards rule, and kind of Texas has that course. So we kind of shared with them how they can find the course, and so that's going to kind of be part of the thing. We really have some things to learn. We've got, by the way, a guest is going to appear in the coming weeks to talk a little bit about what's been referred to as the tech stack, which Michelle knows. She comes from the tech space, but really it's about how your data is stored, or how your DMS system is constructed, so that we can help dealers maybe first understand that part. And then we probably need to talk about how dealers can plug into some solutions for, safeguarding information better on the software side, really the digital data management side of this. It's, as far as keeping applications hidden, and social security numbers not on a desk, that's pretty easy for us to understand. File cabinets, we can understand that. But as far as what we can do on the technical side with the DMS, most of us are not familiar with how to do that. So
I've got friends in a lot of different industries, and this safeguards rule is not just about the car industry. It's about anyone that collects and keeps any kind of personal information that might be sensitive. So it's not just buy here, pay here, or any of the car industry. It's like any business that holds on to social security numbers and those kind of things. Everyone's being required to do some kind of training for this. We have a good friend of ours out of Salt Lake that just works in tech, and her company is out there trying to get this information out to all companies, and she actually reached out to us just recently about it too.
Right.
Right.
So Jack,
And I understand. I just don't, that's something else that we need training on for sure. We're just not familiar with how to safeguard ourselves against all of that. And, it was a little discouraging to hear about the fines that came along with that. And, it's fine. We'll handle it in stride, but it's just one more thing that we need to worry about.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I think it's a solvable thing. What that does to me is it probably in the long run, even though it's complicated and kind of scary at the moment, in the long run, it makes it beneficial, I would say, for those of us who are out there operating legitimate dealerships, trying to do it right, trying to be compliant, that just kind of, that works in our favor, but near term, it's something we have to deal with. So I wanted to learn a little
For
bit
sure.
about Turn and Burn Motors. You
Yeah.
got a few more minutes here to talk about that. I wanted to find out about your business. First of all, how did you choose the name?
Not very carefully. Actually, I had, to be honest, man, I was probably 30 years old, 29, 30, and I didn't know what I was going to do with my career or my life, and I knew I wanted to buy and sell cars, and I had no idea that we would do as well as we have done. I didn't have any, no prediction that Turn and Burn was be as big as it is, and I was just going to buy and sell a few cars out of a little office I had, and I don't even know how I came up with it, man. I wanted something that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I wanted something that wasn't, ABC auto sales, A1 quality car sales. I didn't want it to be Jack Carter Motors. So just tried to pick something that was memorable. And I thought I could make a like a cool graphic out of, and just something that would stick in somebody's mind. So, but to be honest, man, I think if I had to do it again, I probably would do it again, but I've caught a little flack. I've caught a little bit of flack for it, but I think people remember it. So maybe we were able to, there's a lot of car lots that people have told me the name of that I have no idea, but
Sure.
I think people remember Turn and Burn. So it's fun.
Did you know that you were going to be buy here, pay here when you started, or did you start just regular retail?
Oh gosh, no, I didn't have a clue. I'll tell you what I knew. I knew how to go out and buy a car, and I knew how to fix it. And that's all I knew, really. I did not know that I was going to be buy here, pay here. My dad has been in and out of the car business most of his career, and is currently not in the car business, and wasn't when I got started. But he just kept telling me over and over that the money in the car business was in buy here, pay here. And my dad's been a big influence in my life, and he's been my friend and a mentor from day one. And he repeated it over and over that the money in the car business was in buy here, pay here. And I had the little DMS system, and I could play with it, and I could see what that kind of interest would do. But no, to answer your question, I didn't have a clue. I really didn't. I didn't have a clue. All I thought was I'm gonna buy cars and sell them for more, and that's what I was doing. And then inevitably, customers, started asking me, how much, the question, how much down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of how I got going. Probably would have been scared to death had I understood it better. I mean, if I had known what I was getting into, I probably wouldn't have had the nerve to do it.
Yeah. Well, you've been pretty fearless up to this point. Sergio in Texas asks what year you got started. I don't think you said that.
I got my license in the year 2013.
Nice.
So
very good.
We're about 9 years in.
Yep. So talk to me about, you've had this you surprised yourself with your level of success. Talk about where you feel like your strengths are. Like what do you feel like has contributed to that? I'm sure our listeners would like to hear, what do you feel like you guys do well?
Oh gosh, man, I think we do a lot of things very well. I think our strengths are purchasing, and I think our strengths are customer service. I think customer service is probably the biggest one. I hope. We deal with an angry customer pretty much every day, but it's so few and far between compared to how many people are not angry. But we just operate under the do unto others rule. As simple as that is, I just won't sell a car to someone that I know has a problem, or we try try to provide a good product, and we go over it carefully, and we run it through our shop. And we miss things, we make mistakes, and people do wind up with cars they wish they hadn't have bought, and we try to fix those things. So I would say our strong suit is our customer service, and I would say that I feel like I'm someone that's good at building relationships. I'm a social person, and I like people for the most part, and that's like shines through in our team of employees. Like, I feel like we have a really good group of people that care about Ben and I, and they're loyal to us, and they're good to our customers too. So I think if I had to just sum it up, that's our strong points, I believe.
Very nice. Good stuff. Michelle, did you have any questions for him?
Not on the strengths. Someone just asked if you do have a flat interest rate. All of your deals have a flat interest rate.
Yeah, our interest rate's 28%, which is the state max. I've talked to some industry experts and people that think that we should relax that a little bit. Worried about the government coming in and looking at what we're charging folks. However, the banks and the lenders that I've spoken to over the years have always indicated that, to cover our losses, we need to be at that 28%. And in just doing the math and looking at it till I'm blue in the face, I think they're right. I think we have to charge that kind of interest in order to be profitable and in order to make up for the losses. So we definitely are going to stay there, and we've never wavered from that. We've never wrote a deal under that. It's the same for everybody that walks in the door.
Nice. So what about your, so James Anderson asked a question, but maybe I'll phrase it a different way. So how do you support your customers after delivery on the mechanical side? Are you doing warranty, service contract, or do you neither?
All of it.
Okay.
So that's something that we probably got into 2.5, 3 years ago. We offer a warranty on everything we sell now. We bumped that warranty up. Of course, the warranty is something that I didn't understand for many years. The warranty is a tax break. It's a tax haven. That's what it is, and it's beneficial to, it's a tax break for the dealer, but it benefits the customer, and it's customer service, wrapped up in customer service. So we do that, as well as we offer a service contract that we sell on most of our deals. I would say that we get a service contract, a 2-year service contract on probably 95% of the cars we sell, in addition to the warranty. And it's been a wonderful thing. I think that the reinsurance companies and the warranty and the gap and the CPI and the service contract, that those businesses will at some point eclipse the car lot. I feel like it's something that a lot of dealers talk to me about it, and I just didn't listen for a long time. It just didn't capture my attention, and I wish it had. But I feel like those are key factors in being in the car business, is participating in those type of programs.
Yeah, for sure. We especially see the value in the buy here, pay here track, and that's obviously where Michelle and I live. But yeah, we know that a lot of dealers just aren't familiar. They just don't make the time to familiarize themselves with the benefits, the reinsurance solutions, and so we definitely like to see dealers understand that piece and make a judgment at some point. And we're finding that dealers can get involved in that earlier and earlier in their business life. So
I agree.
It's getting easier to get in there, even from the earliest parts. And so that's, we think dealers ought to get familiar with it and get comfortable with it. It's like a lot of things, if there's an unknown, there's always a fear factor there, but there's certainly some real benefits to know about.
It took me a long time.
Where you said that you anticipate that it will eclipse the dealership. We've talked to many dealers that's the case. So it's probably the dealers that were telling you to do it. That's what their experience has been.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we allocate, and we have a wonderful CPA, and we've worked with them, Hugo and Amanda, on, they work with our reinsurance company to determine how much needs to be allocated towards our warranty companies and things of that nature to help offset our taxes. So it's been it's been fantastic. And I'm positive, guys, I'll say it again, that it will eclipse the car lot at some point. It would have to at its current rate. It just, really every dealer that's in business needs to take a serious look at it.
So I'm going to make sure and throw in there, for if there are 100 dealers listening this morning, for the 4 who don't know what you mean by Hugo and Amanda, he's talking about Hugo and Amanda Sanchez in Houston. So CPAs out of Houston who are very good at the buy here, pay here. So
she did a shout out just a second ago. Very impressed with Jack Carter, was saying that he would not put someone in a car that he wouldn't put his mother in. I'll never forget it. Great guy.
yeah,
It's true.
good stuff.
It's true. And I think that if we keep that mentality, it's hard not to turn a customer into a lifetime customer when you treat them that way. So I appreciate her I remember saying that to her. It's true.
Well, these are the kind of things that I hear Jack talk about on Facebook, and it's part of the reason that we felt it was appropriate to have him on for a White Hat Wednesday. We just really want to make sure, people are familiar with, what we're trying to just spotlight that, Jack. And we invite you to help us do that as you meet other dealers, and just help us kind of shine a light on this idea that, it is possible to do business in a white hat way, take care of folks, and expect to have a successful and sustainable business. So that's part of what we're trying to do. And Michelle, I'm feeling like we should let Jack get back to the cars, and we'll have you on another day, Jack. We have lots more to talk about, and so we can let you go preview and buy some more cars. We know you got to stay ahead of that. Did you have anything else?
I was going to say that, Jack, you and James Anderson, it looks like you need to sync up outside of this, because he's got a billion questions about your operation, and we really appreciate you being out there and being the voice of a dealer and being part of those Facebook groups an awful lot. And like I said, James, he's asking questions now about CPI and if everyone's eligible and all that. So James, reach out to Jack and get your questions answered there. And Jack, if you're ever interested in becoming a mentor with some of the network that we're putting together, please let us know, because you just really would be such an asset.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to help you guys. I talk to dealers every day from all over our state that just reach out with questions, and I try to help them best I can. I love the car business. I love my fellow dealers, and they're not. I don't view them as competitors. I am my only competition, as I'm sure you guys are yours, and I'm happy to help James or anybody else. I hope I'm giving out good information. I'm certainly not always right, but I will definitely try to help him and anybody else that wants to reach out. And I know that there was plenty that helped me when I was starting out, and plenty that still do. Actually, there's there's so many good people in our circle that have helped me tremendously. So I'm hoping that I'm able to do that for the younger ones below me.
Absolutely. Well, you are doing it all the time out there in Facebook. We know you're willing to help based on your experience. And so, that's what you'd be doing. You'd be helping us to help dealers. And so they can ask you the question. If you don't know the answer, they can ask me. And when I don't know, I'll ask Michelle. So we'll get people answers,
Right. Everything leads back.
That's right.
All right,
we'll let you jump,
for
Jack.
having me. I really appreciate what y'all are doing too. Thank you for all your efforts, and you guys are educating dealers, and I think it's very much appreciated, and it's obviously needed. So thank you both.
Yeah, of course.
You're welcome, and thank you. Thanks.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Up soon. All right, see you. Well, that was fun. Always cool to have somebody out there living it in the trenches, right? He's made time at the dealership or at the auction to talk to us. So appreciate that. But I don't think I have anything else, Michelle. We're going to go check the weather. Doesn't affect me much except for when the power goes out. So I'm settled in the hotel in Orlando. All is good. I've taken advice from some of the others about, rationing my snacks for the 3-day hunker. And so that's good information.
Jim know that he loves his snacks.
Yeah. So I had to put some of them. The hotel has a safe, so I put some of them in the safe.
Did you forget the combination?
Well, I'm very forgetful, so I write it down. So that's the strategy. I write down the code, I hide the code, and then I'll eventually find it.
If you'll
See, the self-rationing program that I've come up with.
Hey, honey, if it works, it works.
That's right.
I woke up this morning and texted Jim. It was about 5 o'clock my time, and I'm like, "You up?" And he goes, "No," and I said, "Neither am I." And then he tried to call, and I'd gone back to bed. So
Oh, wow. No, it is early there.
just wanted to make sure that you still had power. If Jim is in a position where he does not have power for the broadcast on Friday, I'll be doing it solo, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
You guys can talk bad about me. That'll be your opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
I wouldn't say
see
I
what
have nothing bad to say, Jim.
Oh,
Nothing at
good.
all.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe
All
you.
right.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, folks. We appreciate everybody listening in. Hopefully enjoyed having Jack, and you can see why we wanted Jack as a guest, and we look forward to having him again one day. And if you know other white hat dealers that we should get to know, please, send us their name. And if we don't know them already, we're going to want to get to know them.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. And everyone in Florida, again, hunker down, hold on to something that's really sturdy, and be safe.
Right. Have a good week.